If you have ever thought about buying an investment property, this call is for you. We are going to talk today with a young man by the name of Joe. Joe is a 18-year-old kid, but as you will listen to him in this call, he's got his stuff together. He's dialed in. He's working hard. The questions that I ask Joe on this call are the exact same questions I would ask you if you're sitting in my office. Joe emailed me basically just saying, I found a property to do his first flip, and he found an investor, but I don't know if it's worth his time and money to do the deal. It's got great potential, but it also has very big downside. And in the very first question, I said, well, what's the ARV, also known as the after repair value? So I said, okay, well, give me some context here. So I started just asking questions. And he said he's buying it for $790 is what he can get it under contract for. And he said the ARV, that after repair value, is 1.2 to 1.3 million. So typically when I see margins like this, it does throw a couple flags up because, number one, this is a very high price point. It's just a very high price point for a first flip. My guard's kind of up with just advising him. The second thing is days on market typically for these types of property are quite substantial. So I said, okay, well, I'm just going to keep digging, staying in curiosity, and keep asking about the deals because who knows? I mean, if it was a great enough deal, maybe I would take a look at it. So I said, what is the average days on market for something that's worth 1.2 in this area? And he sent me a screenshot of this area. And the days on market, believe it or not, for this type of home, throwing out the high and throwing out the low are like 67 days. That's actually a lot less than I thought it was going to be. So I said, okay, great. I'm going to stay curious. So the next question I said is, how many active properties are on the market for 1.2 in this immediate area or surrounding area? And his answer was there's zero as of today. So it starts, as I keep asking some of these questions, it just starts looking like a little bit. So then I said, okay, what is going to be your risk in this investment? What does the worst day of this investment look like? And he said, I'm not sure. He's like, I don't know if it sounds too good to be true or not. And what I'm trying to frame his mind at, and is young, because he's young. He's 18, so he's young to begin with, but his investor mind is young. This is his first flip. So when you ask questions, you can start shifting that mindset a little bit. And I said, Joseph, what's the risk? What's the downside? And he said, he's not sure. He's not sure if it sounds too good to be true or not. So you can see he's dealing with fear. There's a relationship with fear. That's actually why him and I are talking, right? That fear is creeping up, and he's just not sure what to do at this point. I said, okay, great. Good investors limit their exposure. How can you limit yours? And he said, I'm not sure what the heck you're talking about. And I said, well, okay, what's the absolute downside of this risk? On this asset's worst day, what does that look like for you? And can you survive if that asset absolutely tanks? Bank repos it back. What does that look like for you? So he's not even into structuring the deal and how he structures it and what he's thinking about doing it. So it was still a little bit of a struggle. And I said, okay, Joe, let me ask this a different way. If I was to guarantee you that you would not lose money on this property, would you do it? And he said, yes, 100% I would do it. So guess what my next question is going to be? How can you get in this deal with putting no money into it? Right? How can you structure this deal so that there's no risk on your side? And I said, then great, limit your exposure. Here's a couple ideas. Find another flipper who can buy the property, and you joint venture with them. Have the flipper fund it. They put all their money into it, and you bring the deal, but you ask for a lot less of the pie. You ask for a lot less of the deal. Joint venture with a money guy. Have him or her buy it, and then and fund it, and you found the deal, so you bring the deal and you rehab it. They fund it, and you joint venture with them. Sometimes joint ventures are like, well, that's fine, you do that, but you're still going to share in the risk. Sometimes they're not. Sometimes they're really wealthy and they're like, I'll handle it. Number 3 is wholesale a property. Just get it under contract, flip it to somebody else. And that's another option here where it's not actually, where it just and make a fee on it where he doesn't actually own it. So he's not actually taking any risk, but he can essentially just create a fee and money. And then I said I might call him. So we're going to do that right now and see if we can't give him a shout and see if we can't pick his brain a little bit more on this property.
Hello?
Hi, is this Joe?
This is Joe, yep.
Hey, Joe, it's Caleb Hayes calling. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Hey, I gave you a heads up that I might be recording this call. I actually am. Just in case any of my agents have a similar question, they can reference back to this video and just kind of listen to some of the questions that I ask you, and hopefully I can help you, and then hopefully I can help some of them in the process. Is that okay?
That's okay, yeah, that sounds awesome.
Awesome. All right, Joe. So you got this deal. Do you have it under contract, this one for $790?
No, not yet. It came on the market a week ago, talked to my investor / business partner, and we're ready to write. He wants to see some more. He wants to know what the process looks like more, and I was like, I don't really know what the process looks like, so I talked to some other agents in the office. They say write the offer and then have like a longer inspection period, get the inspection done, and then get a couple contractors in to give you some bids on stuff and see if it works in your budget, and then go from there. So if it doesn't work for your budget, you can just cancel and just move on, rather than you actually have to overshoot your budget and then maybe not profit or have it go south real quick. But
yeah, absolutely. Okay, so I'm going to ask a few more questions. So your investor partner, business partner guy,
yeah,
this would be your first home flip, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, and then would your is this your business partner's first flip?
Yes, but it's not his first real estate investment, so that's why he's not too concerned about it. I think I'm the more concerned than he is, but
sure.
That's because, yeah.
No, absolutely. So, your business partner, is he really wealthy?
Yeah, he's worth about, I think, $900 million as of this year.
Okay, there you go. That's why he's not sweating it as much as you are.
Right. Yeah, I got nothing in my name. He's got a lot to his name. So
yeah, that's great. Okay, so the reason I'm asking that, if somebody is he self-made or did he inherit?
Self-made.
Okay, so somebody that's self-made that's generated that kind of wealth, he's going to of course he's like no big deal because he's taken jumps and risks like this before, and this is a very small play for him. So number one, great job on getting partnered up with someone that is successful. I see a lot of times where brothers will try to partner with brother-in-laws or and do their first flip together, and I actually highly advise against that. It's new in terms of a flip maybe for an investment for him, but this other guy has been investing for a really long time, and he's kind of backing you in this is what I think I'm seeing and hearing here.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's great. How much in rehab do you think it needs?
I'm thinking probably 150 to 200. Realistically, probably overshooting the budget a little bit, probably closer to 150, 175.
Mm-hmm.
It needs to knock out a kitchen and open that up, and then it needs, rehabbing the floors. You need to redo every room. You need to do every bathroom, and it's like 3,300 square foot too, so it's a decent sized house.
Mm-hmm. How many square feet did you say?
3,300.
3,300. Okay. Tell me about the outside of the house. Does it need roof, siding, windows?
It doesn't need a roof. The windows are getting old. I'd assume we would need to replace most of them, if not all of them. And then the siding, I believe it's stucco, so the siding's there. It just visually isn't appealing. There's some chipping on the top of it, so it definitely has to get a stucco inspection done on it to tell you the full quality of it.
Okay.
But yeah.
Does the and then on the inside, you said you're gonna take out the kitchen, you're gonna blow out a wall. Is it?
Yep.
is that was it safe to say that everything on the inside needs to be done?
Everything by what do you mean?
Like does it need new bathroom, new flooring, new toilets, new fixtures? Does it need new kitchen, new flooring, new paint, trim, doors? Like like you walk in right now and like everything needs to be renovated.
Um, yeah, I'd say pretty close to everything. I think we're gonna salvage these hardwood floors because they're in very good condition. Um, but other than that, I think all the bathrooms need to be redone. Every bedroom needs to be redone. There's 3 levels. The third level needs to be completely redone. It's like an office bonus room. I don't know what you want to call it, but that needs to be totally redone. So I'd say, yeah, probably everything needs to be redone.
Okay. You said it's 3,300 square feet. Did I hear that correctly?
Yep.
And it's 3 stories.
Well, there's a basement, and then it's 4 stories, including the basement.
Okay. Okay. So, first thing is your square footage seems like it's off.
Yeah.
Is that a pretty? I mean, are you grabbing that from the MLS?
I'm grabbing it from the MLS. It says approximate, but not exact.
Okay. Yeah, I don't. For what you're gonna get for that house, 3,300 sounds incredibly small. Actually, not incredibly small, but my guess is that house is closer to 5,000 square feet. Second thing, how'd you come up with your rehab number?
Just by looking at bigger pockets, looking at other opinions from other agents. They think it's probably around 150 to 200, which needs to go into it.
Perfect. Have you gone to the property and went through room by room, making estimates yourself on what you think you can get work done for?
Yeah. I don't know how educated my estimates are.
Sure.
Like, I think, we probably have to spend 10 grand per bathroom. I'm thinking the kitchen's probably 15, 20, 25 grand.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can get you a ballpark. It could be probably not as close as some, but I mean, you never know.
Right.
So.
Right. Okay. And then on the, is the basement finished?
Nope.
Okay. So it's just wide open.
Yep.
How about the, garage? Tell me about the garage.
The garage is actually probably in the best condition.
How many
it looks
stalls?
like 2-car or detached, 2-car detached.
2-car detached. Okay. Did you, so there's no access from the garage to the house?
Correct.
Okay.
And that is standard in that neighborhood with all those comps. Those are all detached garages.
Got it. Is the, I'm just doing some math here real quick. How much are you hoping to make on this thing?
I mean, probably between the both of us, we put together 150. I'm paying myself in real estate costs to pay my real estate company on top of our development flip company. I don't know what you want to call it.
Sure.
So yeah, I mean, he's more of a family friend that I've talked to about starting a business a long time. So he's like, yeah, we'll use you as a bank. You can use me as a bank and just pay me interest after everything. So I'm really just trying to get my feet wet in these higher end flips, higher end real estate.
Sure.
Get my name out there at the same time.
Yeah.
Rather than try and turn it and burn it for a quick buck. I'd rather make a little bit and then do another one, make a little bit, do another one. I'm not trying to make money and like live off of it long term, rather than make some money, put it back into the company, make some more money, put it back into the company, and just build off of that.
Yeah. If you ever want a job, you can come work for me, because you've got it together the way that you got this lined up, and the fact that you got somebody with $900 million going to back you. You must have proved that you've got some grit and some work ethic in you. So man, good power to you. Keep going. You're crushing it. Okay. So a couple of things. Number one, I think your rehab number might be a little high. You can probably shave some money off of that. Because it sounds like, I think it's going to be around 5,000 square feet. It's going to be my guess on that house.
Okay.
and the, if you're at, let's say 150 in repairs, and you want to make, and let's say you bring in 100, that's if you're looking for 150 in profit, which is the margin he should be going for on a property like this, you guys. If you go for 150, and you put 150 into repairs, which again, I think that might be a little hot. You can even get those repair numbers down. If that retail ARV, I know you told me that the after repair value would be 1.2 million to 1.3 million. I typically go on the lower end of that, and let's call it 1.2. But
yeah, that's what I was planning on doing as well, which is 1.2.
Yeah, and if you can get 1.3, Merry Christmas. But if not, then at least you're safer. But you guys will see that in order to be successful in this, he has to nail that ARV. If he's off by $100,000, which in this price point, if he's off by $100,000, if that house is only worth 1.1 million, he's wiped out. There's no profit.
Right.
So, and if it's only worth $1 million, you're done. Like you're going to be cutting a check, or your guy that was backing you probably won't back you on the next one, or he'll say, okay, we got to figure this out and fix it.
Right.
But here's my formula. If you can sell it for 1.2 million, I typically take 90% right off the top of that, just for costs, fees, title company commissions. Now you're going to get some of that money because you're going to list it and sell it. And then I take out the 150,000 in profit, and then I take out 150,000 for your rehab. Your max offer should be right around that 780, 790. So, and it's listed for 790, I believe. So,
yeah, it's listed at 799. So you're thinking 780, 790 is what we go in at?
If I were you, I'd pay him full price for that property. Get it under contract. Okay. And then,
okay.
Yeah, you better just make sure you have contingencies for inspections. And during that inspection contingency, you look that house over with a fine tooth comb, and you collect all your bids for anything you're going to get done. And you make sure that your reno is under 150. If you spend $200,000 on that house, you're going to start going backwards on your profit you want to make. So,
gotcha.
And I think you can do it. I mean, there's very few houses that I put 150 grand into.
Yeah.
So, but they're, the margins seem good, and seems like you're onto a great deal. You got a good financial backer. I think it's great, man.
Well, awesome. Yeah, I thank you for the phone call and for all the insight through email. This has made it a lot easier and a lot less stressful, and I feel like I'm not going crazy. Like, are these numbers on proportion or anything? So,
sure.
I'm glad Laura sent your email over and we connected.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you keep us up to date on this deal and how it all kind of shakes out, and if you want me to look at that deal one more time, I can really get more granular in terms of the ARV and things like that. Like, I'll make you send me comps, and I'll make you send me the budgets, and then just really look things over, or the contractor bids that you get. It's great. No, I think it's close. If all the stuff, if everything that you're telling me is true, right? Not that you lie to me, but like what the market is true, like that ARV and what you can get fixed up for, man, it should be a no-brainer. Are you gonna share the profit 50-50 joint venture?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Good. Yeah, I mean, you could.
Yep.
If everything works out in the way that you're hoping, that's a $75,000 payday plus commissions for you. So it'd be a real good day.
Yeah, that's a great day.
Yep. All right, man. Well, let me know if I can help with anything else, and if you want me to dive into them a little bit more, maybe after you get under contract, we can chat about it. But just protect yourself in that contract. So make sure you have your ways out, and that you cross all your T's and dot all your I's through the process.
For sure.
All right, Joe. Give me a shout if you need anything else.
Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you, Caleb.
Thank you. See ya.